and I have been discriminated against. And now I have to tell my children that they have less civil rights than I did.
I think she went to Binghamton undergrad, and she went to Notre Dame Law School, which is a great law school. Her son right now is at Harvard. That son she wants us to think is sitting there oppressed, who she's got to fight on behalf of because America is so awful to him. They're educating him right now at Harvard University. And Jason, would you take a look at this? Because I'm going to guess, I haven't been to your house down in Tennessee, but I'm going to guess it doesn't look like this. This is Sunny Hostin's home in this shitty country that she can't stand, that doesn't treat Black people like Sunny well. She let People magazine feature her home. Look at this dump. This country sucks. She went to Notre Dame Law School. She makes millions on The View. Her son's at Harvard. I'm sure her daughter's at private school on her way to some Ivy League. This is where Sunny lives. And F off, America. I can't stand how you've kept us all in chains. That's her messaging.
Seems like this woman's family is nothing but a bunch of criminals, ladies and gentlemen. Sunny Hostin of The View had already admitted previously that she had plenty of people in her family that were criminals. Her husband's under a federal investigation for crimes that he had committed, financial and insurance fraud. And now you have her son is even in trouble. It's like, man, this lady seems like she cannot catch a break. It's almost as if all these evil things that she's wished on people like President Trump and many others on the right, including saying that no one is above the law, it seems to me like it's backfiring.
And talking about lame, the ladies of The View, more particularly Sunny Hostin, her son Gabriel has been hit with a trespassing violation in New York City, and Page Six is reporting that Sunny asked the officers if they knew who she was before name-dropping The View. Michael, I am predicting here, I'm very confident that Sunny will turn this into some sort of a race issue. She is obsessed by race.
All that negative energy you put out into the world tends to come right back at you. But I'm going to go ahead and react to this quick clip on TMZ where they discuss this in a bit more detail. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
Sunny Hostin from The View is flexing her legal muscle, and it involves her son. Her son was training, he's an athlete, on this dirt road, and he saw this gravel incline with a gate open, so he went in to train on the gravel, not seeing there was a no trespass sign on that gate.
It's unlikely that he didn't see it, but let's continue.
Police officer came by, cited him. Sunny ended up showing up at the scene, but the officer still wrote the ticket. It is a minor criminal offense, but still a criminal offense. Sunny wrote this letter, and I gotta say, it is awesome. She really lays out a case that
Look, shout out to TMZ for always glazing every single person that's on the left, but let's keep going.
This Harvard grad with a clean record should not be penalized this way because the gate was open and he didn't see the sign. She is asking that the case be dismissed. Now, this has become a public issue now that we have this letter, so we will see if the DA bends and makes this case go away. Sunny Hostin.
So here's the deal. I mean, in general, I don't think, Sunny Hostin's trying to say, declare herself as her son's attorney at this point. As for family members being your attorney or your mom being your attorney, I would strongly advise against that because I think people that can be too close to you sometimes can be very irrational and emotional in their arguments, and that doesn't necessarily play well in court. I do think you want somebody who's going to fight really hard for you, but you want somebody who's going to fight hard with the most logical reasoning possible, not emotional stuff, which absolutely is how Sunny Hostin, if you've ever seen The View, that's definitely how, the hag in chief operates on the View, the cackler hag in chief. So guys, there's a little bit more information here. I'm gonna see if I can read about this a bit. So Sunny Hostin writes, passionate letter defending son Gabriel. He was cited on the 16th over an incident involving police that did not involve an arrest, so he was not arrested. Trespassing on some place near railroad tracks. Sunny Hostin, of course, flexed her legal muscle, wrote a compelling letter. So I did see the letter. It's pretty long, so I'm not going to read this entire thing. But basically, she mentioned the fact that he was a Harvard student and how she worked for The View, and he did not have a criminal record. So kind of reiterating what you just heard from TMZ. And she also goes into detail about how the gate was open. You couldn't see the sign, but I know that's a lot. They post those things so obviously, and it's very obvious where you should and shan't go. So Sonny Hostin's clearly lying about that. Police officer approached her son, immediately called for her to come to the scene, trying to basically probably intimidate this officer into submission. She called the entire incident an honest mistake. A likely story.
As a mother of black children, I know that black boys are not given the presumption of innocence and the presumption of youth. She's calling the police and saying they're trying to steal her car, and they're 11 years old. They don't know how to drive. And so for me, what was interesting was I have had to be in the position where I have gone to my local police department because I know my son is going to be training for the Junior Olympics, running around the neighborhood in an all-white neighborhood. And I have brought him to the police and said, he belongs to me. This is my son. Do not harass him. Do not stop.
She noted that her son has worked hard to build an exemplary academic and personal record. Sonny Hostin does not care about that if you're on the right, only if you are on the left, and her son specifically. She argued that dismissal would avoid imposing unnecessary consequences on a young man who has demonstrated exceptional character and achievement and who poses no risk to the community. You know, this is like saying that, you know, hey, if you get a speeding ticket for driving 5 or 10 over the speed limit, you don't really pose a risk to the community. I mean, is it true that you don't pose a risk to the community? I mean, yeah, probably. I'm not even saying that she's wrong about that, but do you still get the ticket? Abso-freaking-lutely. Nobody's above the law, Sonny. Court scheduled for July 31st. In my view, I hope it doesn't get thrown out. Now, my opinion on it is that it probably will. You know, I hate to admit this, but it probably will, because that it's a minor thing. It's not really that big of a deal, and they probably don't want to deal with it if it's not a more significant crime. I mean, we've seen people on the left literally commit real crimes, like in some cases millions in fraud. Like Letitia James, right? She committed fraud, mortgage fraud, the same thing she tried to get Trump for. And, you know, had him dead to rights on that. But Letitia James, they just want to throw the entire case out for her multiple times at that, right? So I don't think that these courts are non-partisan. I absolutely think that as soon as this DA takes a look at this, sees that it's Sonny Hostin, they're absolutely probably going to be on her side and say, yeah, let's just go ahead and throw this out, because they have the power to do that. They don't have to even have a good reason for doing it. They could just do it because they felt like it. And it's unfortunate. I am glad that this occurred, because Sonny Hostin needs to know that she is, and her family are not above recompense from God, from many other humans on this earth who she's wronged, talks smack about on a regular basis, constantly wishing ill upon her enemies, basically every single day on The View, being just bitter and nasty all the time. And like I said before, that tends to be like a boomerang. It's like you throw a boomerang, and it's like if you just look away, just turn around, and the next thing you know, it just comes back and just pow, just smacks you in the back of the head, or maybe it misses you and it hits your son instead. These are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm out. Shout out to my members, patrons, and fellow anomalies: Cyber Noodle, 655, The Great, Bella Scott, Carpentier John, and Pinecone 6. I appreciate you guys every single day.
Oh yeah, that's common. It's gonna be an avalanche. Like, how dare you? How dare you go after my son who was in an area that was clearly marked no trespass? How dare you? I tell you what, as soon as she says, "Do you know who I am? I'm from The View." If I'm that cop, I'm quadrupling the fine.